I think the move taken by the government is a great move. This demonetization will basically, help to take out the black money which is there and which people have been hiding from last several years. But at the same time, definitely because it is a new change which has occurred, and definitely people are going to face a lot of challenges. There will be lot many things for which definitely they're going to face a lot of difficulties and all that. But I think within these 50 days the things are going to settle down, and if you'll see the day it started and today we have seen the queues being shortened and all that. But I think now the people of India need to come forward and they need to support Modi ji. They need to support government of India for this particular move. Definitely, if you ask me my personal view, I think the real estate, the education sector, the healthcare would actually now be within the reach of middle class people, because uh, with this particular black money and all that, real estate was always out of middle class and lower class and all that. And now the question is that what is government going to do with the money which is being collected? Either the people of India should get at least some tax rebate or some tax exemption for some time. And the generally these days what people are talking about is that now the time has come, we need to change the tax rules. I think the time has come that somebody has already told government to get into banking transaction tax, by which more people would be covered under the income tax scheme and all that. And otherwise, generally only 1 or 2% people are paying the tax. With that new initiative, I think many people will come into that. And another thing is, if we talk about this particular move, I think the farmers are worst affected. And definitely we need to make some changes, where the particular portion of people who are worst affected, we need to at least, find out ways and means that how can we make the process little comfortable for them.
One of the latest news that has been affecting the whole country and generating a lot of views across different sections of society is the impact of demonetization of the 500 rupee notes and the 1000 rupee notes, which have been done by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 8th November 2016. In my view, it is one of the best decisions that could have been taken, primarily because of the issue of fake notes which were circulating in the economy, as also the accumulated black money that has been lying idle outside the economic system. Now, these are the basic advantages of the move that Mr. Modi has taken. But the implications, to understand the implications of this move, one has to look a bit deeper. I will not talk about the difficulty that people are facing in getting their notes changed, because that is bound to happen and that was always expected. Whether it is happening more or less is a matter of debate. But I'll only try to talk about the economic implications. The economic implications will be that banks will now get a lot of money deposited into the accounts, as a result of which the liquidity lying with banks will increase substantially. This will result in the reduction of interest rates, which should encourage corporates to borrow. That is one aspect of the thing. Now, the impact, this particular aspect of corporates willing to borrow at a lower interest rate, has to be seen in the context of the situation of demand. This move, in my view, is likely to impact demand adversely in the short to medium term, because in India, a lot of demand is fueled by cash, and with the cash getting blocked, with the cash getting locked, initially it will result in a fall in demand, which will result in a fall in price, as a result of which the profitability of corporates in the immediate short to medium term will be a fall. In that scenario, whether the corporates would want to borrow more money is to be seen. However, in my view, the success or failure of this scheme will depend on how far this move is likely to convert our cash transactions into banking channels. If banking channels strengthen and cash transactions go down, as is expected or as is propagated by the government, this move will become a successful move in the long run. And in order to do that, a large number of banks have to be opened in the small cities, in rural areas, which I do not know whether the government and RBI have planned or not. So, all in all, while this move is an excellent move in the long run, there is no doubt about it. But in the short to medium term, there could be a pain not only with people but also in the economy. Thank you.
Well, good morning, students. I'm going to talk about demonetization. See, first of all, we need to understand what is demonetization. Well, demonetization is the process of replacing the old currency with the new ones. Now, I believe it's a wonderful policy which our government has come up with. Of course, it is definitely going to support India in the longer run. Well, the first advantage, as we can see, is the controlling of black money. Those who are holding a good amount of black money now have to pay taxes. And with the help of those taxes, the government of India is going to develop the infrastructure for the support, for the improvement of our nation. The second one is inflation, of course, is going to go down in the longer run. Then if you talk about the trouble that the people of India is facing due to demonetization is, of course, there's a long queue these days. A lot of deaths have taken place. So somewhere people have lost their balance. So I believe we have got enough days. Government has given us 50 days. And apart from that, there are a lot of different horizontal options government has created. Apart from offering the currency from banks, now we have the options of withdrawing the money from petrol pumps. And there is another option that has come up with now. The Big Bazaar is also supporting. Apart from that, the local traders are giving credit to their customers who are loyal for them. So there are a lot of things. I mean, people know. The people of our country know about the benefits. So 80% of the people of our country are supporting this move. So this is somewhere is going to help the digital India, of course. And the players, the e-commerce players like Paytm, we have Mobivic, and apart from this, there are a lot of banks who are coming up with UPI. We call it Unified Payment Interface, wherein you have the option to pay online. There is no big deal. People, if they can do Facebook, they can make payments for movies. Why can't they make payment for vegetables or for the basic stuff? So I believe demonetization is a wonderful thing for India, and it's going to improve the infrastructure, is going to improve the economic environment of our country, and that will, in the longer run, would be good for India. Thank you.
Modi has brought demonetization into account, which means he wants currency of 500, old currency of 500 and 1000 to be, he wants the usage of them to be stopped. The reason is simple. He wants black money to come into account. He wants the money that people have saved to be used in the economy. He wants them accounted. The move definitely is good, although he has asked for some short-term sacrifices, but yes, it's going to benefit us in the long term. We should think on a broader aspect, the long-term scales that is going to bring, how it is going to benefit our country. But yes, my sympathies are with some different class of people who have been deeply impacted. For example, the rural poor, they lack the appropriate infrastructure to deposit the money into accounts. Most of the money that they have is in the form of cash. Even if they have post offices, banks, they are so small in number and so dispersed. I don't think the banks are ready to deal with this new kind of the change. Then obviously the household women who are mostly dependent on the male members of the family, they have had hidden stashes of cash in their home. And now because of this new rule, all of their cash potentially stands, they stand to lose this cash. Then another class of people, I don't think many people would have thought of them, is the refugees, because these refugees, they lack the requisite documents required to open or to get accounts. They are not reachable to the banking sector of the country. So the amount that they have potentially saved now again stands waste. Also, I think the banks were not ready to deal with this big change. We are facing shortage of 100 rupees.
Good morning, friends. This is Ayush Kapoor from IBS Gurgaon. Demonetization, a step taken by Modi government which will totally change the life of the country. A step which would have been taken 20 years back, but it's very pathetic. But the previous government was failed to take the same. So demonetization. demonetization, we saw the banning of the 500 and 1000 rupees notes. Initially, it will give problems to the common people, but in the long run, it will help the Indian country and our economy to prosper. As we know that the banning of 500 rupees note and 1000 rupees note will give a common man a problem to buy the things. It's not only for the rich people who will face the problem. It is for the poor person as well who used to serve their life on the daily wages.
Demonetization. Demonetization is stripping down the value of currency notes. PM Narendra Modi announced demonetization of rupees 500 and rupees 1000 bank notes in order to curb black money and also to bring down the rate of corruption. Now, what he did is RBI is issuing 2000 rupee notes, and these notes are the highest denominations in the circulation. So these notes are manufactured, or these notes are being prepared in such a way using nanotechnology, so as to bring down the rate of black money and also bring down the rate of corruption. However, one class of people who will be terribly affected by this move will be the people who have no bank accounts. This move will definitely cause inconvenience to many people, but in the end, this will really help the country.
While coming to the college, when I see lots of people standing outside the bank, I feel somewhat bad. But when I look forward for the country's economy, and when I talk to my friends about what is going to happen in the future, the fact is, this step of our Prime Minister about demonetization of currencies, I feel this will help the country in long run. Although we are having a lots of problem, the day-to-day life has been disturbed. This economy of our country has been disturbed. We don't know what will happen. Many people, especially the business class people, are much worried about what will happen. But for me, when I see that our government, to whom we have elected with full majority, has taken some decision, I feel we should stand by their decision. We should support the government, because after all, we are not a party which is against the government. So being a nationalist, being a part of this country, anything which a government is trying to do and we feel that it's doing good, we should support the country for the benefit. And this steps of demonetization, from my side, I would like to say, is one of the historical event which has happened.
Our Prime Minister took the step towards demonetization, which could spark a new digital economy in India. As for the common man, it would definitely make some issues, as we have to get into long ATM queues, bank lines. But as we just have those 500,000 notes which are not working in the market anymore. These are just a piece of paper. But in the long run, after once it gets over, from the 1st January 2017 onwards, it would definitely help in booming the Indian economy. As it was done in a survey that out of those, like 100 notes were printed in the market of 500 and 1000, only 20% were circulating in the economy, and left over those 80% was not available in the market, that was stored in the houses of big businessmen or politicians or anything you can count, in the form of black money, which would now be circulating in the market. Once, like, they can't deposit more than 2.5 lakhs into their account, because all that is black money. But now, if government will just give those 20% notes, and out of 80% notes will also circulate in the market, now like there will be deflation in the market, commodities will get cheaper as compared to previous prices, and will definitely be a good step. And we should all support our Prime Minister Narendra Modi's step towards the good economy of our country.